everyone, welcome back to the Planet Pearl YouTube channel. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. If you are new here, hi, I'm Pearlin, and in this channel I share my love for all things fiber crafts, slow living, and my life in Christchurch, New Zealand. Today I'm so excited to sit down and have a little chat about a quilt I recently finished. It's a baby quilt I made for a dear friend's new baby, and this project brought me so much joy, and I thought I'd share the whole journey with you, how I got started, what fabrics I used, how I finished it, and everything in between. So this is going to be a slow, crafty, catch-up kind of video, and if you are into quilting or even just love hearing about behind the scenes of a handmade gift, I think you will enjoy it. So make yourself comfy and let's chat. Quilting wasn't something I grew up knowing how to do. I've always loved the traditional handmade quilts I'd seen in books. My paternal grandmother had this one patchwork pillow that she had made, and all of his grandkids would all fight over to sleep with it at night, and I had wanted to learn how to make it ever since. However, like all things when I was young, I took all the opportunities around me for granted and never learned anything. And when the opportunity to learn quilting came from a workshop when I lived in Kuwait, I quickly jumped on the chance, and that is not to say that I wasn't scared. I was so nervous signing up for this class, and I didn't know head or tails of sewing. I didn't know how to thread a sewing machine back then, and I had but the only thing was that I had a wonderful teacher, and she made me feel that quilting was approachable. And looking back, I've come such a long way, and that beginner version of me would never have imagined I'd be here making quilts and sharing them. I look back now, and each quilt I make now feels like a little celebration of that learning journey. One thing that I still struggle with, though, is choosing fabrics. It can be so overwhelming for me, and I am always second guessing myself. Do these prints work together? Are these colors clashing? It's the trickiest part of quilting for me. So charm packs and pre-coordinated fabrics have been an absolute blessing for me, and that's why I love charm packs so much. For those of you who might be new to quilting, a charm pack is a set of 5 into 5 inch pre-cut fabric squares, all from one fabric line, and everything's already coordinated. No worrying about matching tones or themes, and they've done all the hard work for you. And it's a great way to sample a fabric line, so you get a little bit of every print, and it helps you really see the whole pattern line that the designer had created without having to get the whole yardage of the fabric, which can sometimes get really expensive. For this quilt, I have used Noah's Ark line from Stacy Iest Hsu from Moda. It's a very sweet, whimsical collection with rainbows, sunshine, raindrops, and animals, and it captures the story and the hope that is conveyed in Noah's Ark story so beautifully. And I used 2 charm packs to piece this quilt together, and I have to say I absolutely love this part of the process. And in a previous video I had shown how I made the quilt top, laying out the charm packs and planning the placements and piecing it all together, and that's one of my favorite parts of quilting. watching the pieces slowly come together and into a whole. Like it's like so calming, and it's like working with a big colorful puzzle, and it's so satisfying. And when the top is finally done, I always get so excited at this stage because it's one step closer to the finished quilt. And so in my previous video I had just finished the quilt top, and then I had mentioned that I will be doing the backing later on. So for the backing I used a soft flannel with nursery rhymes and cute animals on it, so that it ties in with the playful Noah's Ark theme. And also I had some leftover charm packs from the top that I had pieced together, and I wanted to use that with a flannel fabric. And like I like doing the backing this way, as there will not be any charm packs that will be wasted. Plus it's also nice to have like a handmade touch to bring the design from the front to the back of the quilt as well. And it's always satisfying when you can use up the leftovers, you know, to just finish everything. And so yeah, that's what I did. I really hope that the little one who's receiving it enjoys all these prints and loves this quilt a lot. And yeah, so that's the quilt. So this is the front. And after I had finished the front and the backing, I wanted to get it long arm quilted. This was actually my second time. The first time was with a lovely local lady that I had lost her contact details and forgotten her name as well. So I took it to the local Bernina shop here. And honestly, the experience was wonderful. They were so kind and helpful. And even though there was a bit of a wait list, they had finished my quilt before the due, and it was so affordable too, which actually surprised me quite a lot. And I chose the animal cracker quilting pattern for it. I'm not sure if you can see it well in the front, but in the back you can see it. It has elephants, giraffes, and lions stitched right into it. And when I saw that pattern, I thought that this was perfect for the animal theme. And the lady at the shop agreed as well. And I liked that it added to the playful textural element of the quilt. And I couldn't have achieved that with my home machine. And so I was really, really happy with how it came about. And it's so soft. And once I got the quilt back, I had to do the binding for it, and I used the coordinating fabric from the same line to make the bias binding. And I think I have gotten better at making the binding over time with this quilt. And I feel like I've gotten more confident as well. I still take it slow, but it feels less daunting now. And that said, even just attaching the short stretch of the binding was really strenuous for my arm. It really helped. I've really learned to now like break everything into smaller sessions so that I don't feel really stressed about, or I mean, like I don't feel too much strain on my hands. After I finished machine stitching the binding around, I set myself with a nice crafty little nest on my couch. I had my blankets, I had my tools, and of course something fun on TV. And this time I watched The Nanny, and I'm not sure if you remember this show, but Fran Fine with that iconic laugh and the most amazing outfits. I read somewhere that The Nanny was loosely inspired by The Sound of Music, except instead of Julie Andrews you get Fran from Queens, and it is so nostalgic and light-hearted and so funny. and such a comfort watch while like hand stitching, and it made the time fly away while I stitched the binding, hand stitched all the binding down. So this is the quilt. This is the top of the quilt, and this is the backing with all the, I will take a better video shot of this whole thing because it's really hard to show it. And I had planned to attach a specific label to the quilt first, but the ready-made fabric quilt that I had ordered got a little later than I expected, and I went with the Planet Pearl label on it. But then the ones that I had ordered arrived, and so I made a quilt label with that as well. And so it's here somewhere at the back. So that's there. So that's the other label that I made for this little baby. And so I made this label and then hand sewed it again with really tiny stitches. I hope that you were able to see it. And this whole quilt, it measures about 40 by 40 inches, and I find that baby quilts are my absolute favorite to make. They are manageable to work in size, and they work up fairly quickly as well, and you can really have these fun, sweet fabric from the baby line, you know. And one thing I've really come to appreciate is how enjoyable quilting can be when you take it slowly and break it into manageable chunks. Especially during this time, it has made such a huge difference for me because it's less strain and more joy. And sending out this quilt to the long arm quilting was the best choice for my body. It gave me the energy to enjoy the process, at the same time, you know, make something special for my friend. And I really enjoyed that process where I was using my creativity to bring together this quilt, at the same time also, you know, not straining too much, that I find it like a strenuous job. It was more a joy to create. And what makes this quilt extra special is that it's going to a friend that we've known since the early days as a couple. We've watched them grow together, have their first baby, and now this little one. And it's such a joy to, you know, to make something for them filled with love, and especially for a family that means so much to us. Yeah, so that's the story of my Noah's Ark quilt, baby quilt. And it was such a joy to make, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about it as much as I enjoyed making it. So I also hope that showing the process in my video inspires you to try making a quilt of your own. It's not difficult at all, and if you have not tried one yet, you should definitely try, because you get all the charm packs, it's all just stitching together, and you know, within no time you have a little quilt that you can give for a special person, a special little one in your life. So let me know in the comments that if you have used charm packs or given a quilt for long arm quilting. I'd love to hear about it. And so thank you so much for keeping me company today, and please give this video a thumbs up if you would like to see more content like this. And so until next time, take care and happy crafting.